Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mediocre Reviews and Awesome Brews. I'm your host Tony.
And I'm Jesse.
And today we're going to be doing the last of the beers that Keith sent me over Keith's Beer Reviews. This is Boulevard's Smokestack Series Dark True Stout. Now this comes in at 9.7% ABV, 60 IBUs, and let's see the ingredients on this. We got Amber 50, Cara 120, Cara 300, chocolate malt, chocolate rye, flaked oats, golden naked oats, malted rye, pale malt, roasted barley, wheat malt, and then hops on this are Heritau Tradition, Pearl, and Sapphire. And then it's fermented with a Belgian yeast strain. So let's go ahead and get into it. It's a real cute little tiny 12-ounce bottles that look like a full 750 milliliter.
The last smokestack we had was really interesting, and I feel like we rated a little bit low for what it deserved. But this stout, from everything it looks like, I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be a really good beer.
Yeah, I poured mine really aggressive. Yeah, I got a little bit more head on mine than what Jesse did. Extremely dark brown, almost black. The head on it is, I got about a finger's worth in the pour. Very, very tight bubbles. A nice chocolatey tan color on the head. Absolutely no light getting through it.
I think this is even darker than that mocha from Southern Tier. I mean, even around the edges, I can't see anything coming through.
It's very dark. Hey, can you get a nose on it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm getting some nice roasted malt characters in there. Little hints of chocolate and coffee. I'm also getting, there's also a fruity quality in there. I would think from the Belgian yeast.
That's what I'm trying to place. I'm getting that as well as what you've mentioned, and you're probably right. It's probably from the Belgian yeast. It smells good.
Well, can we get a taste on it?
Hell yeah.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Very interesting beer.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's very complex. You're getting tons of roasted character in there. Nice roasted coffee flavors. Hints of both. I'm getting hints of both milk chocolate and bittersweet chocolate sort of combined. There's a dark fruit sweetness in there, like plums or figs or something. I can't quite place my finger on it. And the mouthfeel on it is pretty decent. It's fairly thick, but not overly thick, like some imperial stouts can be. Wow, what do you think?
Yeah, beautifully smooth, thick mouthfeel. A lot of tartness to it.
Yes, there is a little bit of tartness in there. What I'm getting, yeah.
And almost a licorice, like hints of licorice in the flavor that I'm noticing. This is really interesting.
You can really see how it's sticking to the glass. Really gorgeous looking beer. I'm getting a decent amount of roasted malt bitterness in there, sort of like a coffee bitterness. Not so much from the hops. Man. And this has been out for about 30 minutes, so it is a fairly warmed beer.
I'm getting just a tad of alcohol on the palate.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that too. Now that you mention it, didn't really notice it beforehand, but with you mentioning it, I definitely get just a little teeny bit of that. Wow, this with all with the rye and the oats, the barley, the wheat, it's got almost everything in it but lactose sugar. Which, if you throw lactose sugar, in it, it'd probably be the perfect imperial stout, bar none.
Yeah,
because that would provide a much thicker, creamier mouthfeel. But it's definitely a really good take on an imperial stout utilizing a Belgian yeast strain. We've had maybe 2 or 3 Belgian style imperial stouts. This, in my opinion, I don't know. I think this is probably the best out of all of them so far. Just that combination of all those different grains put together really. I mean, this is really, really put together very nicely.
Yeah. So many different flavors, and they're all mixed in there. And not one really overpowering the other. I mean, there's just so many flavors. You can taste them all, and I can't necessarily name them all, but they're all there, and they really go together and build a really great, unique flavor, I'd say, in this.
Yes,
stout.
definitely unique. And Jesse brought up a good point. There are some hints of this and that in there that I think if you think too much about trying to figure out what they are, it would really detract from the beer itself. I think that's the issue we had with the Collab 2, the white IPA. We were trying to figure out what those subtle hints were before that bitterness came up and smacked it out of our tongue, and we were really getting lost.
Yeah.
That's primarily why I think that scored so lowly. Lowly?
That works.
Lowly. Just like me. I'm lowly. No, I don't know. What are your final thoughts and grade on it?
Final thoughts. I'm still, that tartness is really interesting. I'd say this is by far the most tart imperial stout that I've ever had. And it's really neat because while there's some bitterness, I really take a lot more of the tartness in the overall flavor, but it doesn't overpower the other flavors like the Imperial White IPA that we had recently. Yeah. It just kind of adds to it. And
now, is it more of sort of like a fruity tartness, or sort of I'm getting kind of the dark fruit tartness is what I'm getting. I don't know if you're tasting something else or.
I don't know. It's almost like there's two separate, completely different tarts that I'm getting. Like when you first, in the initial hit, it's like that dark fruity tart, and then in the aftertaste, I don't know if it's just that lingering, after you get through all the other flavors, or if it's kind of almost like an alcoholic tart or something. It's almost a different tartness there at the end that.
I think that's where the roasted malt bitterness comes in. Maybe kind of mixes with that to create a different sort of illusion of some bizarre tartness. Because that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that nice fruity character with some fruity tartness, and then it kind of fades into a bitter malt, bitter coffee sort of a flavor.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I'll go with that.
Finally, I won one. No, what's your grade on it?
I'll give this a 9.
9? You know what? I think that's about right. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, if they brew another imperial stout and they threw lactose sugar in it with all these other ingredients, I tell you that would be absolute perfect imperial stout. And we might have imperial stouts that do score 10s out of 10, but that doesn't mean it's the perfect imperial stout. It just means at that moment it's phenomenal tasting.
I think that might crank this one up to 11.
Yes, definitely. I think I overshot that a few reviews ago with going to 11. This would, if this had lactose sugar in it, it would just take this beer to a whole another level. It would score completely off the charts. I mean, we're talking 100 out of 10. Just absolutely phenomenal beer. 9 out of 10 for me, 9 out of 10 for Jesse. This is truly great. It's Boulevard's Dark True Stout, and they're cute little 12-ounce bottles that look like 750s. Keith, again, thank you for the beer tray. We'll have to do another one.
Thank you very much.
Another one in the future. I know a few breweries you can't get, a few more breweries that you can't get. And make a little bit of a list. So if you want to do another beer trade sometime, I'm all for it. But hey, guys, we're going to get out of here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for watching, guys.